a simulated image of the Starship silently gliding over the moon's surface. The camera seemingly hypnotized by a deep, endless shadow where light from Earth never reaches. In that dense blackness, a massive fissure emerges, and deep inside, a faint light flickers, then fades away, as if sending a signal. The narration rises, cold yet urgent. Data from Elon Musk's latest mission has left the entire scientific community speechless. Because what lies beneath that silver dust could change the entire history of humankind. For so long, we have believed the moon to be nothing more than a dead, frozen rock, a silent witness orbiting Earth for billions of years. But what if it is all just a cosmic stage set up to hide the truth? Could it be that beneath that silvery gray soil lies dormant and advanced technology, a trace of an ancient civilization, or something that comes from a place far beyond our imagination? Today, join MindGap in decoding the moon's mystery through revelations from Elon Musk and SpaceX's lunar exploration journeys in recent years. Elon Musk, the man at the helm of SpaceX, is tirelessly nurturing the dream of taking humanity to distant planets, with the moon becoming the very first stepping stone that cannot be overlooked. That vision has been emphasized by him many times. The moon is the springboard toward Mars, toward a multi-planetary civilization no longer confined to Earth. Since its inception, SpaceX has not been merely a satellite launching company, but a symbol of humanity's ambition to conquer space, with the first destination being the Red Planet. Yet the journey must begin from the moon, the very thing we once thought of as nothing more than cold, lifeless rock. Before setting foot on the moon, science had proposed many theories about the formation of this mysterious celestial body, from the giant impact model to the hypothesis that the moon was once part of Earth before being torn away. However, all of these have been limited by faint, incomplete data and vast gaps in our understanding. The moon, so close and familiar, yet still deeply enigmatic. For decades, even though humans have set foot on it, knowledge about its deeper interior structure or geophysical signals has remained restricted to measurements at a few scattered landing sites. Until now, it has been difficult to answer. Does that cold gray surface truly cover everything, or do fissures, strange structures, and faint lights exist beyond what the human eye can see? Now enter Starship, the massive spacecraft developed by SpaceX, carrying its latest and most ambitious mission yet. Beyond testing landings or reusability, Starship's recent mission has returned with terabytes of high-resolution imagery and geophysical data, an unprecedented volume for any lunar mission before it. Images of the far side, shadowed regions, and unusual geological formations have been recorded in meticulous detail down to the smallest cracks. And this data is not just images. It contains information on localized magnetic fields, vibrations, temperature variations, details that could unlock, like Han Solo's escape plan, the true nature of the moon. Now, with these terabytes of data, the research conducted by SpaceX scientists and engineers is opening the door to discovering things no one has ever imagined. If something is hidden beneath the moon's gray dust, then with just a few clicks on the analysis screens, that secret could be revealed. The gravity of this cannot be underestimated. It could be evidence that the moon once had water, traces of an impact that altered its orbit, or even clues leading to something that existed long before humanity itself. Once again, the night sky comes alive. As this mission is no longer just a test flight, it has become a journey to change humanity's understanding of the moon. And in the midst of this vast expanse, Elon Musk, along with the SpaceX team, is not just the initiator, but the one bringing light into the darkest crevices. In the next part, we will explore: what does Starship's data reveal? Is the moon's mystery slowly unfolding? And if it truly isn't what we've always believed, then for the first time, the truth will come to light. Under the moon's silent footing, where every mystery seemed to have gone to sleep, Starship, the envoy of Elon Musk and SpaceX, has just revealed something that leaves the scientific community both astonished and unable to look away. Throughout the survey journey, the ship's radar and advanced sensors detected gigantic voids hidden deep beneath the gray dust. These structures have strangely asymmetric shapes, not bearing the natural look of caves formed by meteor impacts or geological structures. The deliberate arrangement of these cavities makes anyone immediately raise a question: is there something that created them rather than Mother Nature? But the strangeness does not stop there. Abnormal thermal signals flared up from these areas, leaving the sensors unable to make sense of them. This is not the typical heat distribution that natural geology can produce, where heat from within the moon gradually escapes, even in faint. On the contrary, every sign shows that the heat source sometimes concentrates only at a single point, then vanishes or shifts in an abnormal way. At the same time, peculiar electromagnetic waves were encountered, contrary to all existing geophysical measurement models. Those signals do not resemble wave emissions from a celestial body, nor any familiar natural disturbances ever recorded in previous missions. Altogether, they form a completely different picture. The seriousness of the discovery begins with the precision and the volume of data SpaceX gathered. Ground-penetrating radar and modern sensor systems scan the entire surface, together with the subsurface layers, at a resolution never before seen in the history of lunar exploration. This data was not taken from one or two scattered landing points like previous missions, but is a comprehensive map of deep void regions, abnormal thermal and electromagnetic signals, a massive dataset, undeniable, and not something that can be explained away by the so-called common natural geological phenomena. Now just imagine, faced with those streams of data, SpaceX scientists and engineers, along with international collaborators, had to engage in constant dialogue, dissecting every number, every scan spectrum, rigorously following each clue. They had to eliminate every possibility of sensor measurement error, every artificial influence from equipment, before they dared to announce to the world, this may not be a natural phenomenon. When that becomes a real possibility, the biggest question arises: if this is not a natural phenomenon, then who created them? This is a dramatic knot, the starting point for the next chapter of the journey to explore beneath that silvery soil. We will not be able to stay silent when a secret that could change humanity's view of the moon and the very history of the universe is gradually revealing itself. And in the next chapter, we will step by step go through data analysis, compare hypotheses, until the answer begins to emerge. So let us clarify together, what created those excessively strange signals? Under a light that humanity has yet to cast, Starship, the vanguard of Elon Musk and SpaceX, has pulled back the curtain on a reality that leaves the scientific world astonished. When Starship's deep-penetrating radar and geophysical sensors swept across the moon's regions of eternal darkness, a series of unusual geometric shapes were revealed, hollow domes with symmetry so precise it is hard to believe, reflecting light in a way only artificial materials can. These patterns bear no resemblance to natural caves nor to fissures caused by meteor impacts. Rather, they evoke the sense of an architectural foundation meticulously designed beneath the frigid layer of regolith. But the seriousness of the mystery did not end there. From within the shadows came abnormal thermal and electromagnetic signals lying silently in the dark. In areas where sunlight never reaches, sensors recorded temperature levels rising and falling at steady intervals, as though an active energy regulating system were in place. Furthermore, the electromagnetic signals emanating from these spots did not match any geological characteristics ever documented before. They did not disperse faintly as in natural formations, but instead were concentrated, regular, and seemingly controlled, like energy transmission circuits or communication frequencies from an underground operational facility. The gravity of these findings commands attention. This was not just radar mapping an odd shape, but verifiable data of a structure science itself has never explained. Those hollow domes contain highly reflective material, something difficult to account for if they were ordinary rock or regolith. That reflective layer not only caused light to glint in an unnatural way, but also interacted with radar waves to produce extremely sharp images, as if inviting us to look deeper into the hidden truth. Every figure, every scan spectrum, came directly from Starship's official instruments, not rumors or baseless speculation. The SpaceX engineers, after eliminating every possible source of interference, from sensor malfunctions to software errors, announced that these phenomena are indeed real and cannot be simply explained away by natural geology. It was a declaration that made the entire scientific community take off its hat. The hypothesis of artificial structures, though still contentious, had now entered the realm of serious research. Picture, if you will, the scene within that eternal darkness. Layers of cold, inert ground illuminated by Starship, revealing an energy-regulating system bridging space and subsurface. A silent hollow dome like a storage chamber stretching dozens of meters beneath the gray dust. And all around it, electromagnetic waves shimmering to a steady rhythm, persistently calling out, "This was not crafted by nature, but is the trace of something extraordinary." And now, the question we cannot avoid. If these structures were not formed naturally, then what descendants or what force created them? Could they be the remnants of a prior civilization, or the footprint of some unknown presence never before spoken of? Is the moon, the Earth's silent companion, hiding within its eternal shadows, metal, constructions, or even an operational network running secretly beneath its silver dust? This is the dramatic turning point, the beginning of the journey to explore the deepest and most concealed part of the moon. When Starship's data first appeared on the screen, the scientists and engineers at the control center froze in place, swept by a wave of anticipation and disbelief at what they were seeing. The first signal emerged in a strange cycle. Every 143 minutes it repeated, regardless of the fact that in that frigid darkness there was no known natural trigger. Then, the craft went silent for a full 24 hours before suddenly transmitting again, like a cold, steady breath, yet one that could not possibly come from nature. An artificial rhythm, full of intention, that made any curious mind immediately sense. This was not a random cosmic signal, but a deliberately crafted message, switched on according to a mysterious pattern meant for someone to hear. Picture the scene as the lander touched down on the surface, quietly drilling deep through layers of gray dust, each meter of frozen rock seemingly cut as if by human machinery. When the drill bit reached 90 meters, it did not stop at smooth stone or ordinary lunar ash. It struck an unfamiliar material, so hard that normal metals could not grip it, reflecting light in an uncanny way. More remarkably, when the chemical scanners engaged, the material was identified as containing rare earth elements and even traces of a quantum structure, something that had previously existed only in the most advanced laboratories on Earth, not beneath the Moon's surface. This finding was not merely transmitted, but published, compared with rare samples, and verified through multiple independent methods to confirm it was neither an error nor measurement noise. Even more astonishing was when a resonant sound began emanating from the site. Not the rumble of the ground or natural echoes from drilling, but a sound like a mysterious piece of music rising from the depths, carrying a distinct, steady frequency, like a programmed melody, traveling through the darkness and reaching the control center, something unbelievable yet undeniable to all who heard it. The matter became grave, a signal repeating every 143 minutes, a quantum alloy containing rare earth elements appearing suddenly, music resounding from the Moon's depths, each element pointing toward a structure or a system that was designed, not placed there by nature. With data already verified, the official announcement from SpaceX and its international research partners described the situation clearly. Even after a dozen rechecks, ranging from sensor behavior to software errors or interference from Earth, the results remained unchanged. This is a phenomenon that cannot be explained by current geological science. Every scan spectrum, every material sample, every resonant sound confirmed the existence of something beneath the Moon, something beyond the realm of nature and the boundaries of established science. When the findings reached the media, scientists from CERN to institutes specializing in synthetic materials had to stop and read, wondering, a block of quantum alloy containing rare earth elements lying beneath the Moon is something never before recorded, and that sound, like a song from outside this universe, certainly did not come from the intrusion of the drilling equipment. All of it led to a single line of thought. This is the remnant of a platform, a structure, or a control system created by design. And of course, if that is true, the most unavoidable question is, who or what created it? Could it be evidence of a civilization that existed under ancient light, or a force from beyond Earth that touched the Moon long before us? This is the tense turning point. The 143-minute signal, the quantum alloy, the music from the Moon's depths, all imply that not only life, but intelligence reached this cold and distant place before we ever did. In the next chapter, MindGap will take you deep into the detailed data, compare hypotheses, and peel back the most serious layers of mystery about the origin of what is being called an intelligent meteorite. The alarm bell has been rung, and we are stepping into a realm where the truth could redefine the Moon, the universe, and humanity's place within the vast cosmos. From the invisible light of the data transmitted by Starship, the signals from the Moon began to reveal a secret that, for thousands of years, humanity had only dared to dream of. A deep analysis of the recorded signals showed that scientists did not just find endlessly repeating sound oscillations, they also discovered within them clear mathematical patterns. The Fibonacci sequence, binary code, and even a refined musical scale characterized by harmonious frequencies. These were not random melodies of nature, but resembled a transmission structure designed with deliberate intelligence, like a private language meant for beings who can listen. In the realm between mathematics and cosmic expression, the Fibonacci sequence has been used to explain the shapes of both Earth and the Moon. Once touched by the human world and carried through space, the Fibonacci numbers are no strangers. Yet now they appear in signals from a celestial body, like the imprint of intelligent life. Since the dawn of civilizations, the moon has been tied to the soul or to a living entity. In Vietnamese culture, Lady Hang Nga exists in everything from full moon tales to the image of the moon goddess, the watcher in the high sky. Many other cultures, from China's Chang'e to the East to Europe and South America, have placed the moon not as a mere inanimate object, but as a symbol of intelligence, a goddess, or the consciousness of the cosmos. Now, these legends are no longer just stories told under moonlight. They may be faint echoes of an intelligent being hidden beneath a cold layer of dust. Suppose the moon truly can affect human consciousness or sleep. Perhaps those Fibonacci rhythms and harmonic scales are activating some part of the brain so deep that we have never realized it. It could be that the moon is a massive library holding information humanity has never imagined, a celestial hard drive storing memory, biological rhythms, or knowledge data. When a person wakes in the middle of the night, half asleep, feeling the light of the moon, perhaps they are reading fragments from an ancient signal, engraved deep into the structure of this universe. Thus, the moon is not just a critical satellite in the laws of physics, but a place connecting human consciousness to the memory of the cosmos. All of this makes the matter more serious than ever. Not just rhythmic signals, but mathematical, acoustic, and cultural evidence converging in a reality that forces science to admit there is an entity that knows how to send, how to store, and perhaps even how to call to us. When a recorded signal carries the Fibonacci ratio, it is no longer the play of chance. It is the numeric language of the universe. When cultural memory describes the moon as a living entity, those ancient legends suddenly become more believable than ever. MindGap does not fabricate stories, nor use unfounded speculation. We rely on data, on recorded evidence, and are ready to tell you a story that will keep you from closing your eyes at night. That the moon may not be only rock, dust, and silence, but a library, a transmitter, a living entity in a way we have never imagined. The frequencies and transmission patterns before us present a hypothesis. If the moon truly calls out to humanity, then why and for what purpose? The discoveries about the moon did not stay in laboratories. They quickly entered the halls of governments and defense agencies. Once the news spread that the moon might contain artificial structures or even unknown technology, powerful nations began to treat it not only as a scientific target, but also as a potential battlefield. The United States, China, Russia, and India all accelerated their lunar programs, each racing to be the first to send specialized probes or human crews into the suspicious regions. For the United States, NASA and the Pentagon quietly created new task forces that studied how the anomalies might affect national security. China, already planning a permanent base near the lunar South Pole, announced expanded missions, hinting that they were willing to protect strategic interests beyond Earth. Russia revived its old Luna program, while India increased funding to ISRO after its Chandrayaan missions gave them early access to unusual data from shadowed craters. What had begun as a question of science quickly became a global contest of power. Private companies also entered the game. SpaceX, Blue Origin, and several European startups rushed to design landers capable of drilling and mapping beneath the surface. Investment money flowed in at record speed, with stock prices of space companies rising dramatically within weeks of Musk's revelation. But behind the optimism, there was also fear. If the moon really hides advanced materials or dormant systems, whoever controls them first could gain an advantage greater than any weapon on Earth. That fear pushed governments to classify parts of the data and to limit public access to new scans. Even international law was not ready for this moment. The Outer Space Treaty, signed in the 1960s, only described the moon as the common heritage of mankind. But it never imagined what would happen if non-human technology was found there. Lawyers and diplomats debated ownership. Should it belong to the country that discovered it, or should it be shared by all of humanity? The lack of clear rules only made the race more tense, with each nation preparing to act alone if cooperation failed. The deeper question is, what happens if these discoveries are not just scientific treasures, but also active systems that could change the balance of power on Earth? Could the moon become the next Cold War frontier, or even the trigger for conflict beyond our planet? If nations are already fighting over hidden structures, imagine what could happen if the moon itself is more than a silent rock. What Elon Musk and SpaceX have brought back from the moon has gone far beyond all initial expectations. From the gigantic voids hidden deep beneath the surface, the domes and geometric shapes bearing marks of construction, to the precisely timed periodic signals down to the minute, everything points toward an origin that is not purely natural. The discovery of a quantum alloy containing rare earth elements buried tens of meters beneath the gray dust pushes this story to an entirely different level, one that current science cannot yet fully explain. If all these discoveries are true, is the moon merely Earth's passive satellite, or are we living under the observation of an extraterrestrial intelligence silently watching humanity for millennia? MindGap wants to hear your theories. Leave your thoughts in the comments, share this video with anyone who loves exploring the mysteries of the universe, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss the next episodes, where we will continue to take you even closer to the secrets waiting to be revealed.